here we are with some bar chords. Now there's different ways of playing bar chords. The full bar chord of anything, we'll just take G, which is the 3rd fret, if we barred off the 3rd fret. I know you can't quite get your finger across there and do that yet, but with our other fingers besides our first finger, we make what's an E formation right here, and we bar this off at the 3rd fret, and that makes for a G chord, barred. Here's our regular G chord, here's it barred. Here's our regular C chord, here's a barred C chord. And what I'm doing, you can make a simple one where all you're doing is dealing with the two sort of bass notes. Here on C, it's this one. First finger's on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, at least, you know, going from the bottom. And then my 3rd finger is on the 4th string going from the bottom, the D string. And there's one fret in between them, and that's what makes our C. So I'm doing that little chunky thing. I'm deadening the strings back here with the palm of my hand, as you see here. I got the strings kind of deadened. Here's what it sounds like when I'm not deadening. Here's what it sounds like when I do deaden. I'll just have my palm against it just a bit. That's deadening it all the way. This is backing it off just a little bit and just letting it happen. I'm also kind of holding my hand off. What's kind of helping me gauge it is I've got my little finger. It's kind of helping me hold my hand off to where it needs to be. Everybody doesn't anchor a finger. It's called kind of anchoring. You don't have to do that, and some people say you shouldn't, but it's what I do, and it's a habit that I worked into, and I don't know whether it's good or bad really. But so here we've got G, and just with the 2-fingered bar chord, and remember we're using my 1st finger and my 3rd finger. That was just going between G and C. C, G, C, and then here's A, B, B sharp, C, D, and E. This is, and here's our B minor. Let's kind of check back in with our B minor. Remember what I mentioned to you to do is take your 2nd finger to start that chord, and it's like making an E minor, but you have to bar this off. You can either do it where you take your 1st finger and put it here, and your 2nd finger is going to be that beginning of that A minor formation, and that's one way you can play B minor, but it's not barring it off, and it makes it hard to play because you can't use these top 2 strings here. So there's B minor. B minor works great with G and A, B minor. That's the relative minor to G, I believe, is how that works. And we haven't really talked about what relative minors are, but it's because I'm not really working too much on theory with you because I don't know how to explain it very well, and a lot of it I don't get myself. I play by ear, so that's our bar chords, and I mean, you know, what I remember what I asked you to try and practice as much as you can, just making those. It's a little harder to do the slide, but the better you get at it, the more that's going to come in handy. So let's go. Anyhow, maybe that kind of helps you there on the bar chords. I really can't stress enough how the sooner you get going on working on getting your finger to stretch out there, the more stuff is going to open up to you on the electric guitar. And here I'm going to make a C, and what I'm doing is I'm taking this part of my hand, my finger right here, my third finger. Here's my C note right there, and I'm playing this string here, 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 or I'm actually holding off with this, and then this one here. So it's kind of like just the two finger, but I'm actually letting my finger, this part of my finger, hold all these strings down, and it actually ends up deadening this string more than my high E string. It kind of actually gets deadened more than actually played, because you actually don't want to fret it down. It'd be better for it to be, I mean, actually, it's best for it to be played and let it ring, I think. That's how that works, but that's a really hard way to make that chord. And it kind of doesn't matter if you just go. And you can do arpeggios like this. So here we go. I'm really just holding down these two with that finger right there. So applying that same thing. I wasn't playing an A minor, but I was let's see. So we got to work on those bar chords. Shoot, even my hand is getting sore because I don't play a ton of bar chords on the acoustic guitar because they're kind of hard to play and hard to pull off. But I'm out of shape with playing the electric. But I'm having fun playing electric with you, so I'm glad we're doing that. All right, we'll kind of end this one then, and let me think about something else.